All right, good morning again, Bantam Black hockey fans. We're back here at the Cullen Hockey Center, Sioux Arena today, as the Spuds with their second game of the day, taking on the Sioux Falls Flyers. Spuds with an opening win this morning early against Hazen Beulah. Spuds right now are 2-1 in pool play, looking for a win here to, I believe, put them into the championship bracket. Still same lineup as this morning to start this one. Beckett Miller, Joe Summers, and Garrett Blaha on the forwards. Gavin Welsh and Logan Brecky on the blue line. And right at the top, quick turnover, Summers. Beckett. Oh, Beckett pass just hopped over his stick. Now, Flyers exit out the point. Cross ice, pushed in deep. Brecky continues to pursue on the backside. Now Blaha down in the corner. Comes out top. Quick shot there, saved by Davis. Welsh with the puck. Welsh loses it in his own end. Turnover down low. Now working in along the boards. And Becca Miller able to pick it up and carry it out. Just outside the zone to push Sioux Falls out to get onside. He's pucked in along the near boards. Pushed up by Summers. Summers on the forecheck down low as the rest of his line mates making changes. That turnover there by Beckett. Beckett skates up through the middle. Beckett falls down on the blue line. And Sioux Falls back the other direction. Quickly around Isaac. Quick shot there. Davis, loose puck. And Davis will cover that up for a whistle. Colton will take the face off. Face along the near boards. Dumped in low by Sioux Falls. Hasbargen pushes along the back line. Now Colton gets it up to Kalhoff. Kalhoff gets pinched off. And Foss will pick it up. Foss on the near boards for Steen. Steen into Colton. Colton cutting on to Kalhoff down the middle. Kalhoff cuts to the middle. Gets the poke checked away just at the last second. He'll bank it off the backboard for Colton. Colton out to the point to Hasbargen. Hasbargen shot, rebound. Circles wide to the far side. Now Colton Miller picks up the loose puck. Quick shot there, rebound. Kalhoff tried to pounce on the rebound, but just squirts wide. Now Steen on the forecheck, and Sioux Falls flips that one high up over the glass. And we'll get a face-off coming down in Sioux Falls into the ice. So Monshausen, Copeland, and Woodard step up for Moorhead. Cam with the face-off win back to Wells. Wells' shot, rebound, and no one there, so the goaltender will cover that up. Cam with another face-off win. Copeland. Hands it down to Monshausen. That goes off his stick. Now Spuds battle for the puck on the blue line. Now Copeland tries to pick it up, and Sioux Falls able to carry it out. Good poke check there by Brecky. Welsh fans on the pass. Now Sioux Falls holds it in tight. They'll send it up to the point. They dump along the boards where Brecky pinches it off. Now back out to the blue line. Shot there. Davis with the pad save. Brecky gets it up to Woodard. Woodard finds Copeland. Copeland, he can find. Oh, he had Montauk wide open. He could have set up and seen him. Quick shot there and scores. Donnie Copeland finds the 5-hole, and Spuds take a quick 1-0 lead with 12:10 remaining here in the first period. On the quick shot by Donnie Copeland. Beckett didn't take the face-off. He wins it back to Welsh. Welsh tries to hand it up to Blaha, but Blaha had other thoughts in mind. Wells falls down, quick shot, and Sioux falls back the other direction, scores on Davis. And just like that, we're tied up at 1 apiece. So 9 seconds after Moorhead scores, Sioux Falls comes back the other direction and scores. And we're tied up quickly 1-1. Steen sends it back to Hasbargen. Hasbargen pass hits the Sioux Falls skate. Sioux Falls will give chase. Calhoff on the forecheck down low, supported by Steen. Now Sioux Falls walks out with it and exit pass. Gets past everybody. Foss hustles back. Cuts the play off. Foss gets knocked to the ice. And we got a whistle. Oh, net got knocked off its peg. So we'll get a face-off and to the right side of Davis. Sioux Falls up to the point. They throw it down into the corner. Now back out to the point. Shot there, save. Rebound just trickles wide. Now back at the point. Steen pressures. Sioux Falls tries to walk it to the middle. They send it out to the blue line, but unable to keep it in, and they'll have to get back on side. Sioux Falls brings it around to the far boards. Calhoff able to hold it in. He'll dump it down below. He'll continue on the forecheck. Quick shot there. Turnover is Mountshagen with 2 quick shots as the loose puck rolls out front. Little senders there to make those saves. Mountshagen back to give his defenseman Welsh instructions on what he wants to do with this faceoff. Puck slides through the crease. Now Woodard able to hold the puck in. Now Mountshagen and Copeland battle. Comes out to Welsh at the point. Welsh sends it down low to Copeland. Gets past him, so Woodard will chase. Sioux Falls able to finally poke a 3 and clear for Welsh to take control. Welsh will get up and dump it in. Mountshagen on the forecheck. And finally Sioux Falls able to clear. The loose puck comes free. Welsh cross ice over to Brecky. Brecky with some skating room. Hands it off to Copeland up the middle. Copeland hands it off to Woodard. He looked the wrong way. He had Brecky working on the near side wide open. And Sioux Falls able to clear. And Beckett will pick up the loose puck in his own end. He hands it up to Copeland. Copeland with room to work. Up across center ice. He'll chip it in as he goes to finish changes. Now Beckett Miller on the forecheck. Sioux Falls dumps it back onto center ice. Summers will push it up through the zone and down deep. MYHA gives chase. Sioux Falls reps are on the far board. And Hasbargen tried to hold it at the blue line. Popped over his stick, but he'll recover. Everybody gets onside and dump it back in. Loose puck out to the point. Shot and score! Landon Hasbargen with a blast from the blue line. And puts the Spuds up 2-1 here with 13:07 remaining in the first period. Quick turnover by Steen. Steen with Calhoff. Centering pass. Shot. Oh, just goes wide. Actually, it was Colton on the backside. Didn't quite get much on it. As Steen had a beautiful feed on the back door for him. Colton's shot just goes wide. Miller to take the face off. Sioux Falls controls. They bank it around to the far side. Steen gets to it first. And Sioux Falls able to clear. Has Morgan the only one back. He spins around, sends it back into the zone. It's going to come on net. And the gate in the ice and loose puck there. Quick shot. Scored! Colton Miller follows up on his own rebound and puts the Spuds up 3-1. A seamlessly harmony entry by Hasbargen as he banked it off the boards, but it rolled on net. This puck came back out to Colton Miller. He fired a shot. Initial save made by the goaltender, but Colton got his rebound, had a little time, found his position, and took care of things and put it in the back of the net. Wells' cross-ice pass gets deflected. Now he finds it up, gets it to Woodard. Now Wells carries it up through the zone, gets the puck kicked away where Montagan will pick up the loose puck. Montagan dumps it in off the glass to the near side to Copeland. Copeland picks it up to Montagan, centering pass. That gets poked aside by the defenseman for Sioux Falls. Now a battle in the near corner here that we can't quite see because of the stairway. Copeland and Montagan. They are a menace down on the forecheck. Wells pinches off the Sioux Falls player on the puck. Now Woodard from behind his own net. Hands it off to Welsh. Welsh a little space, gets up to Copeland. Copeland. Now gets it to the near side, back to Woodard. Woodard will give chase. Pressured by Brecky. Quick shot there. Woodard's shot as he wipes out. Losing an edge. Sioux Falls sends it to the far side. They'll get up to the red line and dump it in. Welsh will give chase. Welsh will send it back on the far side for Woodard. But Sioux Falls gets to it first. Brecky pinches off the player off the boards. And now Beckett gets it up to Blaha. Beckett falls down. Now the entry taken away by Wells. Wells gets it up to Blaha just out of his reach. Now over to the far side. Sioux Falls rings it back around. Blaha will get to it first on the boards. He'll hand it off to Summers. Now Summers looking for some space. Spins it back down low, hands it to Beckett. Quick shot there, rebound. Nice save there by the goaltender as Beckett was creeping down through the slot. And Sioux Falls flips it up and over the glass, out of play. And we're going to face off back in the Sioux Falls zone with 6:12 remaining here in the first period. Colton Miller in to take this face-off. Face-off loose in the middle. Cal Hoff hustles to it. And finally Sioux Falls punches it across the blue line, and Isaac Fossall to pick it up. Isaac will dump it off. Nifty move there at the blue line. Colton circles around. Buys a little time, gets it to Foss. Foss throws a shot wide of the net. Now Hasbargen will step up in. Now Steen, big Colton, back to Steen. Steen threw a feathering pass through the middle, but nobody was there. Now Foss will hand it down to Kalhoff. Kalhoff working down low. Tried to centering pass, I got blocked. And now Sioux Falls will finally gain control, and they're content to send it down the ice to get an icing and get a fresh set of skaters out there. So 5:24 left here in the first. Face-off coming down back to the Sioux Falls zone. Montagan in to take this face-off for the Spuds. He wins it over to Woodard. Woodard tried to leave it back for Brecky. Finally, Brecky will pop it back to Woodard. Now he'll leave it to the near side here for Copeland. Copeland tries to hand the low to Montagan. Now Copeland circles around, throws it on net. Now Montagan Montagan steps on a stick and goes down. Brecky at the point. He banks it off the back of Woodard. Number 12. Nice work there by Brecky to hold it in. Quick shot there. Rebound. Copeland just looked for the rebound, but just came outside of his reach. Now back to Welsh at the point. Welsh's shot goes off of the defender, and back comes Sioux Falls, 2-on-1 the other way. Still continuing on down. Big save there by Davis. Good forecheck there by Woodard as he hustled back on the play. Quick shot there and score. Sioux Falls. So turnover at the blue line leads to opportunity of the way for Sioux Falls, and Sioux Falls scores, closing the gap to 3-2. Face-off comes to the near side. Oh, well, we're going to get some penalties. Delayed call coming against Moorhead here. And Foss will play the puck, and Summers going to the box for cross-checking. And we'll get the first power play of the day goes to Sioux Falls. So Miller to take this face off. Sioux Falls controls. They work it down low. Now swing up to the near boards. They set up their power play. Beckham tries to close in on the shooter at the point, and Sioux Falls tries to send it to the point, and nobody was there. And they'll have to go back to reclaim. Turnover as Calhoff intercepted at the blue line, but Sioux Falls recovers. Now they work it back up the ice. And Hasbargen able to bank it out. Oh, they're saying it was tipped, so no icing. As Hasbargen chipped it all in on the boards all the way down the end of the ice. Now Sioux Falls back the other direction. Nice close in there by Calhoff to knock that shot off. Now Welsh with the puck. Welsh knocks down along the boards. Quick shot there. Saved by Davis. Loose puck behind the net. Now Sioux Falls recovers. Centering pass intercepted by the Spuds. Brecky tries to clear, but Sioux Falls holds it at the point. Calhoff with a block shot at the point. Now shot. That hits bodies up front. And now Welsh comes free with it. Welsh up along the near wing. He carries it in deep for Colton with the forecheck. 23 seconds remaining here in the Sioux Falls power play. Colton Miller causing trouble down low. Sioux Falls work up along the near boards. Now stolen away by Welsh. Welsh in all alone. He's got Colton with him. Quick shot. Oh, right off the crossbar goes Welsh. And Bud's back to full strength. Brecky finds Woodard. Woodard loses control of the blue line. Now picked up by Welsh. Welsh and Woodard battle for the puck. Stuck in Welsh's breezers. And finally has Montagan. And Welsh have to turn back and get everybody on side. He'll dump it back in deep. Minute 45 remaining here in the first period. Bud's leading 3-2. Loose puck comes all the way up to the blue line. Foss off to get everybody inside. He'll go back to Hasbargen. He'll settle things down. Long lead pad out to Copeland. Copeland hands it off to Woodard. Woodard in. Shot. Saved by the Sioux Falls goaltender. Nice little play there at the blue line by Copeland and Woodard. Just bring Woodard in on the zone. 1:22 remaining here in the first. Mount Albon, face-off win back to Foss. Foss's shot, high, glove save. Mount Albon back to the face-off. Sioux Falls wins it down low. Woodard gives chase. All Sioux Falls. Good puck possession. Now Hasbargen, he throws a shot, goes off the player that's falling down. Woodard battles for it. Gets the poke checked away. And Isaac Foss is going to get a penalty. As Hasbargen will touch it up. And Isaac will go to the box for roughing. That play was way after the puck was gone. And that's an automatic penalty. So 54 seconds remaining here in the first period. Spuds lead by a goal. But Sioux Falls goes back on the power play. Their second one of the period. It wins back to the point and shot on net. Saved by Davis. Sioux Falls wins the faceoff. They set the power play up along the near boards. Now they get it back out to the point. A lot of bodies up front. Oh, nice save there by Davis. I don't know how that puck got through. And Wells will chip it out and bank it off the boards. Turnover, taken away by Summers. Summers drives the middle, backhanded shot, loose, covered up, and a whistle as the goaltender covers up. Sioux Falls from their own end. Circle around the corner. Now work across the far side. In on the rush. Save. Davis flips that one up into the netting off the stick with 3.3 seconds remaining here in the period. So Colton going to take this face off. Good tie up. Steen flips it back. Breckie off the glass. And that's the end of period number one. So after one complete period of play, Moorhead leads Sioux Falls 3-2. We'll just go on mute here. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and be right back with period number two. So period number 2 ready to get underway. Sioux Falls will start period number 2 with a minute 6 of power play again on the Isaac Foss penalty. Beckett Miller and Joe Summers will start out as a penalty kill for the Spuds, along with Brecky and Welsh. Goaltender switch ends, and we're ready to get underway. Flipped up in the air by Beckett. Summers battles for it, and now Beckett flips it up and goes up and over the glass. Sioux Falls with the face-off win. They'll carry it up along the near board. Sioux Falls out to the point. Now they go cross ice to B. Shot there. Oh, beautiful save by Davis. I don't know how he saw that one through all the traffic. Colton wins it back. Brecky, face-off win, banks it off the board for Steen. Steen up ahead, 1-on-2. He'll spin. Throws it in. Wells picks up the blue line. He throws it in off a skate down low. Moorhead just content here to kill as much penalty time as possible. Now Sioux Falls enters in the zone on the far side. Good pressure there by Steen. Now finally Steen picked up the loose puck and they're able to kick it back out to center ice. Wells from along their own goal line. Flyers are making changes. Floods back to full strength. Wells battling in the corner. Loose puck. Sioux Falls now in the far corner. Shot there, saved by Davis, and loose puck picked up by Jet Steen. Jet loses it in the skates of Kalhoff in front of him. Wells now battles on the board. Montauk able to clear, and finally Brecky able to pick up the loose puck and kick it out. Brecky settles things down, gets to the near side to Kalhoff. His pass gets deflected. Steen hustles in low. Steen up to the point to Foss. Foss is getting pressured, so he dumps it right back down low again. Sioux Falls clears to the point. Hasbargen throws one on net, and the goaltender will glove that and take a whistle to settle things down. Just 2 minutes into the second period here. Spuds still with 3-2 lead. Both teams back at full strength. Quick shot out the face-off by... Oh, and Cam Mounthagen finds the rebound. And there shows the importance of winning a face-off. Mounthagen with a quick face-off win back to Woodard. Woodard throws it on net. Saved by the goaltender, but the loose rebound laid out in front for just an extra second or two, and Cam put the stick on it and puts it in the top corner, and Spuds now lead 4-2. Puck drop underway. Face-off control by Woodard. Woodard carries it in deep. Throws it centering. Just sneaks through the crease. Just out of the reach of Mounthagen. Mounthagen throws it in on net. Rebound pops up high, but Woodard controls along the boards. Now Woodard hands it off to Copeland. Copeland tries to center it to Mounthagen. He tries a backhanded centering move. And Sioux Falls able to clear. Sioux Falls up ahead. Mounthagen, a good back check. Spuds back the other way. Woodard gets the brush go off the puck along the near board. Now Foss back in his own neutral zone. Foss gets stolen away from him. Sioux Falls in all alone. Shot. Oh, nice save there by Davis. Still loose on the board. Sioux Falls up to the point. Shot there. Save. Pause it. Finally gets it off the glass and out, and that will go the distance for an icing. So some exciting back and forth action here as floods with opportunities. Sioux Falls comes back away with another grand opportunity on a mini breakaway in from the blue line. Davis forced him to the wide side. So Beckett didn't take the face off. He wins it over to Summers. Summers chips it up ahead to himself. In around the defense. Centering pass. Oh, that one went right through the crease. I think he was almost shooting for a rebound. Now Summers steals it back the other direction. Summers is like a battering ram. He puts that buckle on the boards and he doesn't stop. Now Wells to the point. Wells shot. Bad save. Summers picks it up in the corner. Summers finds Brecky cutting down the slot. Shot. Oh, off the crossbar goes Logan Brecky. Brecky another shot, and the goaltender will glove that and hang on to it. Nice feed there by Summers as Brecky saw the opening down the slot. He crawled in tight and just ripped one off the crossbar. Bud's actually looking a little more alive with the puck movement here today. Now Steen, quick shot. His shot deflected up into the glass. Mounshaugen now out with Kelhoff and Steen as Colton took a dirty shot on his last shift. Hopefully he's all right. Now Brecky banks off the board up ahead to Kelhoff. Kelhoff tried to get it to Mounshaugen cutting down the middle, but pressured by the defenseman. Now centering pass goes right through the crease. Sioux Falls picks it up on the far boards. Steen intercepts in the middle of the ice. Mounshaugen picks it. Oh, goaltender wasn't ready for that one. Mounshaugen just lofted one on net, but I think the goaltender thought it was going to go wide. Made a last second save. And yeah, knew that was coming. Steen's going to get a tripping call. And Sioux Falls is going to go back on the power play as Chet Steen got the sticks in the ankles. And with 10:13 left here in the second period, Sioux Falls goes back on the power play. So face off controlled by Sioux Falls. They send it out to the point. Hasbargen picks it up. He'll send it down the ice, and that'll come right back after the icing call. Beckett will take the face off now. Sioux Falls wins it up to the point. That shot hits the stick up front, deflects into the corner. Alfu falls up to the point again. They throw it on net, and Davis will glove that for a whistle. And the Spuds will send out a couple fresh defensemen. Sioux Falls wins it back to the point. They throw a shot on net. That gets past Davis. He tried to glove it. Shot there. Oh, what a save by Davis. Beautiful centering pass. And Davis alive with the glove there. Face off, one back out to the point. Sioux Falls sends it back low. Wells will get to it first, but he loses it. Sioux Falls in control. They send it out to the point. And Beckett finally able to control. Beckett flips it back up to center. Sioux Falls dumps it in. Wells gets it. He'll bank it off the boards. Now Summers battles here along the near boards, and he'll chip it up ahead. Sent back down by Sioux Falls. Wells will pick it up. Wells' third pass got intercepted quickly by Sioux Falls, but Beckett picks up the loose puck. He finds Brecky along the far wing. Brecky feeds it back to Beckett. Now Summers in on the forecheck. Summers takes down the player, almost takes down the ref. Now Mountain's hogging out to help kill the penalty. And now finally we got a whistle, and the refs had enough. A little too much pushing and shoving. So they'll be matching minors, so Summers being tenacious as all get out on the penalty kill there. 14 seconds remaining in the man advantage for Sioux Falls. So Hasbargen and Poss will come out now. Montaugin needs a partner. He's going to get Calhoff to come join him. Calhoff will step in to take this face off. Sioux Falls along the near boards. Hasbargen gets it at the point and sends it in deep. Now Montaugin from behind the net. He looks for a centering pass. Comes out to Hasbargen. Hasbargen's shot gloved and hung on to by the goaltender for Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls still with a 6-second man advantage. Calhoff again to take the face off. Loose puck comes up to the point. The ref says that one got just outside the blue line before Hasbargen got a stick on it. So that'll bring the face off outside the blue line. Montaugin wins it back to Hasbargen. Hasbargen grabs it, sends it in, and spuds back to full strength. Sioux Falls into the zone. Isaac dumps it off the board. Montaugin battles at the blue line. Now he'll spin around to some open space. He'll cut and jive, juke through the middle. Up across the blue line. Now he spins. Centering pass. That gets intercepted. And Sioux Falls carries it back the other direction. Sioux Falls gets up to the red line and content to dump it all the way. Nope. They're saying he was short of the red line. And that's going to be an icing on Sioux Falls. So 7:39 remaining here in the second period. Colton Miller back on the ice. Good to see. Brecky at the blue line. Nice little chip along the board. Now he gets sent down low. Colton, forecheck along the boards. Chips it up. Now Steen with it. He gets bumped off the puck. He falls with the pressure. They're finally able to clear. Now Wells will chip it up along the boards for Calhoff. Calhoff will skate it into the zone. He leaves it for Steen. Out of the reach of Steen. And Steen's going to get another tripping penalty. Sioux Falls up across center ice. They pull the goaltender on the delayed call. And Wells will touch this up. And Steen will go back to the box for tripping again. That stick stretched out there a little too far, got in the skates. Player goes under. And that's another power play for Sioux Falls. So Beckett will come in to take the face off with Montaugin, along with Brecky and Welsh. Beckett wins it back to Welsh. Welsh banks it off the boards. Oh, he had him. He just went too far. They had the right idea to spring Montaugin. Again, Welsh. This one's a little shorter. Sioux Falls will intercept it, but they'll carry it in the zone offsides. So face-off coming right down here in below us. 1:44 remaining here in the man advantage for Sioux Falls. Stolen away by Beckett. Beckett drives to the net, gets a poke checked away. Wells up along the far side. He gets it up to Miller, who chips it out. Now Sioux Falls spins it back the other direction. He'll chip it up to the blue line. Now Beckett with the check off the puck, and Wells carries it out. Wells finds Monshaugen. Monshaugen up in head. He'll just dump it softly on net, and the goaltender will cover that up for a whistle. So 1:05 remaining here in the power play for Sioux Falls. Spud still leading 4-2. It was 3-2 after the first period. Only one Moorhead goal here in the second period so far. Off to take the face off. Sioux Falls wins it. They chip it out. Poss will go back to the neutral zone. You go to Hasbargen, back to Poss. Back to the near side to Blaha. Hasbargen steps up at the red line. Chip free to the other side where Sioux Falls will carry it in deep. Kalhoff and Blaha are in the penalty kill. And Sioux Falls passes off the mark, and they'll have to come back to center ice to regroup. Now back to the far side. Bring it back over the near side. That pass too hot to handle. Quick shot there, goes out the side eye. Hasbargen blasts one off the boards, and that's going to go down for icing again. We have 21 seconds remaining here in the power play for Sioux Falls. Woodard will step in to take this face off. Sioux Falls wins it back to the point. Shot there, hits his own guy up front. Brecky pushed it up along the boards, and Woodard able to chip it out to center ice. Down to 10 seconds remaining in the advantage. Sioux Falls dumps it in. Wells picks it up. Wells up ahead. It cuts to the middle. Screens, drops it off to Woodard. Woodard gets checked off the puck. Now Brecky steps up, spuds back to full strength. Puck is loose. Copeland supports at the blue line. He'll dump it in deep. Now Woodard gives chase. And Sioux Falls goes cross ice up the middle. Wells sends it up. Monshaugen. And that was offside. Too much dancing at the blue line there, Cam. Can't carry it in the blue line and come back out. Expect your teammates to stay inside. So 4:26 left here in the second period. Spuds with a 4-2 lead. Sioux Falls kicks it out. Brecky goes cross ice to Wells. Wells back to Brecky. Brecky cross ice over to Blaha. Blaha pushes it into the zone. He battles from his knees. Now picked up loose by Beckett. Beckett. Cross ice over to Brecky. Brecky banks on the boards up to Summers. Now it's loose along the near side here, and Sioux Falls will pick it up and dump it deep. Now Wells behind his own lone. Blaha chips it outside the zone. Summers pressures. That's touched by a high stick. And finally touched by Moorhead.
Called it off.
Had a high stick. Thought we called it off.
So the face-off will come down in the Moorhead zone after the high stick call. 3:44 remaining here in the second period.
face-off. Just pass to Sioux Falls skate. Out to center ice for Sioux Falls. They'll dump it back down deep. Poss spins around. Gets it over to Hasbargen. Back to Poss. Poss gets it up to Summers. Summers chips it out to center ice. Beckett tries to chip it up to himself. Now Sioux Falls sends it back. Poss battles along the near boards. And now Summers. It's hit, poke checked away. Sioux Falls back the other direction. Poke checked away by Hasbargen. Sioux Falls player picked it up loose. Davis with a pad save. Now battle on the near boards here. Hasbargen finally comes out with it. He carries it up, drops it in for Blaha. Blaha carries it in low. Centering pass, Summers. Now Hasbargen from the point. His clapper goes nowhere. Summers with a shot that deflects up into the glass. Now Isaac Poss steps up the blue line to hold it in. They send it down deep. The Sioux Falls gains control. And out to the blue line where it hops over Wells' stick. Wells goes over to Poss. His centering pass got intercepted. Now Sioux Falls carries it up and in. They dump it low. Wells finds Kalhoff as they catch Sioux Falls in a change. Kalhoff up ahead. He dropped it off for Colton, but he got through his skates. Now Wells picks up the loose pipe through center. And Spuds are offsides as Kalhoff was way down deep, but we're getting a penalty coming up against Sioux Falls for interference. So I couldn't see him, but down there in the far corner, Kalhoff was pinned way down deep when Wells tried to carry the puck in. So I'm guessing that's where the interference came in to play.
Inside.
So 2:03 remaining in the period. Moorhead goes on the power play. It'll be Colton, Kalhoff, and Steen.
Go.
So explanations to the coaches. Colton Miller to take the face-off. Colton picks it free. He'll chip it up along the far boards and continue to pressure it on low. Colton. Now he goes from the near side to Brecky. Brecky back down low to Colton. Colton. On the face-off circle. Oh, he was looking for Steen on the back door. Just got fiddled as the defenseman was there to make the play. Now Steen. Quick shot there and saved by the goaltender for Sioux Falls. So he'll pin that against his chest. Nifty little pass there by Colton as Steen was cutting to that back door. Colton wins it back out to Brecky at the blue line. Welsh. Welsh shot, rebound, Steen scores! Just what we needed, a rebound on the back door, and Steen's there to tap it in. And that's a power play goal for the Spuds. So with 1:29 left here in the first, Spuds take a 5-2 lead. Face off. Poked in down deep by Blaha. Now turnover. Blaha, or actually Beckett picks up the loose puck. Beckett carries it around. Throws a shot in wide of the net. Now rings around to the far boards. And Sioux Falls chips it up ahead. Now Sioux Falls down low. Looking to get that goal back. Now they send it up to the point. Shot there, hits bodies up front. Backhander goes wide of the net. Now Isaac picks it up behind his own net. Centering pass, Tim. Now Sioux Falls banks it out to the point. They throw a shot in that hits a skate up front. I believe it was Hasbargen that got a skate on it. Summers carries it in. Now MYHA to support. Clearing attempt, batted out of the air by Beckett. Now it's loose behind the net. MYHA centering. Oh, MYHA tried to feed Beckett coming right down the slot, but pass was in the air. Ref bowls off the icing, and we'll also touch that up, and that's the end of period number 2. So after 2 periods of play, Moorhead leads Sioux Falls 5-2. We're going to get a 10-minute timeout here for the Zamboni break, and we'll come back with period number 3 for you.
All right, here are we back for the third and final period. Suns versus Sioux Falls. Oops. Miller and take the face off, and also punches to the far side. Sioux Falls dumps it in, goes off the Wells, and clears it back to center, and Sioux Falls chips it in, but offside as they still had one player inside the zone. Sioux Falls controls off the face off. They dump it in from the red line. Wells will get to it. They'll kick it free to Summers. Summers, side step for one player. Now Sioux Falls holds it in at the point. You chip it in down low and taken away by Brecky. Brecky gets it out to center ice to Blaha. Blaha, handed off by Summers. Summers, quick shot there, stick save by Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls clears it out to center. Brecky there to check it away. He'll get back to his own end. He'll bank it up to the near side to Beckett. Beckett flips it into the zone, missing Kelhoff, who was cutting right down the middle. But he wanted to get off for a change. So now Brecky from his own zone. Brecky turnover. Quick shot there, but Davis alive and ready for the quick shot, and he'll hang on to that for a whistle. A little loosey-goose here with the puck to start the period. And, close that down, play a nice, good, clean third period, and get out of here with another win. Face off, back in the corner. Now has bargain with it. Sidesteps one player. Carries it up the middle, up to the far side. Throws it in on net, goes off the defender. Now it's in the skates, comes to Kelhoff. Oh, shot there, pad save there by the goaltender. Now Steen leaves it for Poss. Steen now chips it down low, comes to Colton. Both teams unable to do much inside the defensive zone as far as getting the exit puck out. Now Sioux Falls dumps it in. Isaac from behind his own goal. Lead pass up to Kelhoff. Kelhoff banks it up to Colton Miller. He gets brushed off the puck. Now it's Kelhoff with the forecheck, steals it away. But Sioux Falls able to come out with it. And belong the near boards. They'll dump it in from the red line. They'll rip it all the way down low. Poke checked away by Mounthaugen. Brecky sends it up to the point. Save. Flips up into the high air. And Copeland overskates it just a hair. He had it. Now he'll be able to clear. Sioux Falls dumps it in on net. Davis deflects it into the glass. Poss overskates it. Quick turnover there. Saved by Davis. Another loose puck. Davis still to make another save. And finally Woodard will settle things down. Woodard. Cross ice. Loses it at the red line. Sioux Falls dumps it back in. Wells will pick it up. Long lead pass gets intercepted. No, Mounthaugen back on the back check. Wells spins it along the board. And penalty coming up against Sioux Falls for holding. Wells chuckles as he got hauled. He was the one that got hauled to the ground. So 11:49 left here in the third period. Moorhead still with a 5-2 lead. It was 3-2 after the first period, and Moorhead was able to net two more in the second period. Summers was in to take the space off. He went to Mounthaugen. Mounthaugen's shot deflected up above over the net. Now Beckett will leave it to Brecky. Brecky pinches along the boards, but Sioux Falls able to poke him free. Well, near side to Summers. Summers chips it up ahead, too far for everybody. Now comes back out to center ice. Wells will retreat to his own blue line. He's waiting for his Spud to move out. Now up across center ice comes Summers. Summers hands it off to Beckett. Beckett skates it in, shot there high up over the net into the glass. And rings around and back out the other side. Minute 16 remaining here in the power play for the Spuds. Wells' pass goes too far for Miller. Miller takes a dive on the ice as he loses an edge. Now Summers and Mounshaugen on the forecheck in the corner. Summers tries a backhand centering pass to Miller. Miller goes in on net. Summers with another shot. That backhander save. Spuds got to spread out here. They're on top of each other. Wells holds it at the blue line. He sends it back to the near side to Mounshaugen. Mounshaugen sends it deep to Summers. Summers down in the corner. Tries a centering pass. I think that went off the referee. Now Mounshaugen back up to the point, and Wells misses it. Spuds look completely disorganized here in the third period. Now Mounshaugen. Pass from Wells hops off his stick. 20 seconds remaining here in the power play for Moorhead. And Sioux Falls sends it down the link for an icing, bringing the faceoff back down to the Sioux Falls zone with just 13 seconds remaining. Off the faceoff, Steen Kalhoff converts. Steen banks it out to Poff. Poff hands it down low to Kalhoff. Back to Steen. Steen's shot just goes wide. Kind of a bouncing puck as he tried to make that shot. Sioux Falls back to full strength. Quick shot there. Comes out to the blue line. Isaac's not able to settle down that bouncing puck, and he'll go back to center ice. Turnover at the blue line. Sioux Falls back in. Quick shot. Saved by Davis. .934 remaining here in the third. Kalhoff will step in to take this face off. Kalhoff runs it back to Hasbargen. Hasbargen banks it up ahead, up to Steen. Steen up ahead on the breakaway. Oh, just sneaks it wide on the crossbar. Nice play by the Spuds on the breakout. Good play there by the goaltender for Sioux Falls. Now Sioux Falls goes back up the other direction. Centering pass. That hit a body and actually went on net. Davis there to make that save. Now Blaha banks it off the boards out to center ice. Sioux Falls spins it back in the other direction. Shot on net. Davis deflects up into the netting and we'll get a face-off. Just under 9 minutes remaining here in the third period. Spuds hanging on to a 5-2 lead. Face-off controlled by Sioux Falls, poked away by Mounshaugen. Unable to get it out. And now Wells finally picks up the loose puck. Wells tries to get the pass over to Woodard. Goes off a skate, he picks up the loose rebound himself. And now he drop pass for Woodard. Woodard skates it in, into the corner. Oh, Woodard. Full pick there. Quick shot there by Mounshaugen goes wide. Brings all the way around the point to Wells. Wells sidesteps one, sidesteps another. Now he carries to the middle. Shot, score! Gavin Wells hits the top bar. And the Spuds take a 6-2 lead. So 8:18 remaining here in the third. Spuds now lead by 4. Off the face-off, Woodard. Woodard's in the zone. He's got to get on side. Now Wells carries it in. Stolen away by Wells. Wells through the middle. Side step. Another shot there. Blocker save. Sorry. Got too busy watching the play. Now Sioux Falls comes back the other direction. Moorhead able to clear. Sioux Falls dumps it back low. Wells picks up the loose puck. Wells gets knocked over behind the puck. Mountshaugen to support. Now Copeland along the near boards. And Mountshaugen comes with the loose puck. Mountshaugen up ahead. Mountshaugen's passed away out in front of Woodard. Wells will continue to give chase on the forward check. That comes out to the blue line, but Moorhead is in the middle of changing. Foss finds Mountshaugen up on the far side. He'll dump it in the corner as the Moorhead continues to finish making their changes. Summers in on the forward check down low. He carries it up, spins on top of the face-off circle, leaves it puck to Foss. Foss throws a shot on net, hits the body up front. Far shot there, saved by Davis on the blocker. And Hasbargen picks up the loose puck and sends it out back to center ice. Battle on the near board right below us. Summers picks it up, dumps it in. Waha gives chase. Hasbargen steps up, and Sioux Falls finally pushes it back out to center ice. Or Blaha will settle things down. He finds Wells. Wells back over to Blaha. Turnover. Blaha loses at the blue line. Good back check by Wells, and he pokes that one free. Now below the goal line is Wells. Sioux Falls takes control. They work it back out to the point. Quick shot there. Stick to the side by Wells. Now he pokes it to the corner. Now Brecky will step up. He finds Miller cutting through the middle. Middle flips it up to Summers. Just out of Summers' reach. Goaltender comes out and pokes it free. Back out past the blue line. Wells hands it over to Brecky. Brecky goes to the near side for Steen. Steen. This pass goes off the skate. Now he leaves it for Wells. Miller taps that one back in the zone, but Steen was still inside the zone for an offside. That was right down here below us. .5:16 remaining here in the third period. Buds lead 6-2 over Sioux Falls. Mountshaugen didn't take this face off. Comes to Wells. He goes cross ice for Brecky. Brecky looking for a cutter. Nothing there, so he'll just flip it down in the corner. Steen on the forecheck down low. That exit pass intercepted by Mountshaugen. Calhoff. Calhoff throws his weight around in the far board. Now this puck comes up front. Brecky banks it off the boards for Calhoff, and Calhoff will flip it off the boards and out. Now Calhoff picks that one out of midair. Now this puck comes over to Wells. Wells at the blue line. Cuts into the middle. Wells loses his stick down low. Brecky at the point. Flips it in on net. Wells is coming out in front of the net. He didn't have a stick in his hands yet. And back comes Sioux Falls. Logan from behind his own net. Feeds Steen. He tries to chip it in the middle. Sioux Falls intercepts that and sends it back down low. Now up along the far boards to Woodard. Woodard up across center ice. He loses control. Sioux Falls takes it away. And they come back out the other direction. Sidestep cross. Now Woodard on the back check. Waha working down along the boards. He kicked it free to himself. He'll find Woodard along the far boards. Woodard finally gets it out. And finally punch back the other direction. Now Blah, over to Foss. Near side to Copeland. Copeland loses it. Foss picks up the loose puck. Foss skating in down low. Centering pass to Blaha, cutting through the middle. Hasbargen throws a blast. Loose puck alongside of the board. Big pad save there by the goaltender. Now Blaha continues to battle for it, and it's finally covered up, and we get a whistle on the side of the net as the goaltender finally got a glove on it, I think. So 3:05 remaining. Summers in with Beckett and Monthaugen. Face-off controlled by Sioux Falls. They carry it up across their own blue line. They try to dump it at the red line. Summers in there to take it away. He goes cross ice to Hasbargen. Sioux Falls will chip it back in. Isaac will chase it in down low. He'll leave it for Hasbargen. Whoa! Hasbargen's pass went off a Sioux Falls skate and went right through the crease. Now Miller gives it over for Hasbargen. Hasbargen in. Skates it down the slot. Poke check away to the corner. Summers banks it below the net. Now Summers looking for Montaugin, cutting down through the face-off circle. Now back up to the point to Foss. He gets one to Beckett. Beckett whiffs on the one-timer. Shot there now on the pad save. Sioux Falls clears out to the point. And Isaac will have to close down on it and settle things down at the red line. Hasbargen's lead pass for Montaugin. He'll chip it in as the Spuds go for changes. Sioux Falls will lead pass outside the zone. Back on the other direction. Get through. Shot. Saved by Davis. Sioux Falls is flying down the ice there. Just blew past the Spuds. Fired one in on Davis, but Davis was there to squeeze it in the pad. Sioux Falls wins it back to the point. They bank it off the board. Wells intercepts. Wells goes cross ice. Kalhoff tips it up to Blaha. Now Blaha goes down in the tumble. Kalhoff dumps it in. In the meantime, Sioux Falls takes it away and they tip it back out. Good poke check away there by Brecky. Logan flips it up ahead to Blaha on the near corner. Blaha spins around, leaves it for Steen. Steen hurdles one player. Battles in down low. Now Blaha there to support him. He gets to the Kalhoff on the far side. Oh, he's looking for Blaha shooting through the crease. But Sioux Falls able to poke it free. Wells picks it up along the boards and chips it out. And we got a whistle here. I believe that came back in the zone offsides on Sioux Falls. 46.9 seconds remaining here in the third. Face off by Montaugin, one back, just past Brecky. He'll retreat. He'll leave it up along the near boards for Woodard. Woodard gets pushed down from behind. That puck goes off of the body. Welsh banks off the boards up to Copeland, but that had a bad angle there. Quick turnover there. Shot saved by Davis. And back comes Montaugin. Cam with speed, cuts through, in all alone, shot, score! Cam Montaugin. And Spuds now leads 7-2. With just under 20 seconds remaining here in the third period. Face off, Woodard pushes it in. Sioux Falls with it at the blue line. They'll just flip it up ahead. Brecky will glove it down. Brecky, cross ice to Welsh. Welsh goes back over to Woodard. Put it at the red line. He'll flip it in, and that'll run the clock down. And Spuds win this one 7-2 over Sioux Falls. Tight first period, just a 3-2 lead, but Spuds come alive. Scored a couple goals in the second period, even though they spent a large amount of time in the penalty box. Third period, Spuds definitely got their legs going after the first couple of shifts and got things moving. So Spuds move advance now. I believe this puts them into the championship round tomorrow, but we'll figure that out after all the games today. And keep an eye on the Facebook site. We'll post the game time for tomorrow morning, but most likely, I would say we'll be playing an early morning game tomorrow. So from the Cullen Hockey Center here in Moorhead, thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow at the rink.